Hi, my name is Lynn Colson and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and my website is Avery's Allery, averysalery.com. And I'm here today to show you how I made this card today using the Painted Poppies suite of products. So it doesn't use any of your expected colors for poppies, but I've seen this white on white technique and I just thought it was stunning. So I'm definitely not the first one to do this and I won't be the last, but I wanted to share with you how I made this. There's a couple little tricks that I used. Okay, so first I cut out all of the pieces that I was going to need from Whisper White. There's layers for the leaves, layers for the poppies, and this is a little bud. I didn't even know what this was until about 3 weeks ago, and it goes like that. So I'm going to fast forward or cut to the chase on gluing all of these pieces together using liquid glue. Hopefully that worked on the video and you didn't have to watch me tediously do all that stuff. Like I said, these are all from the Painted Poppies and the Poppy Moments dies. So this is the Poppy Moments die set. These are currently unavailable and I apologize for that, but I have all the faith in the world that they will be available soon. Hopefully this month in April. But you can see the detail piece and then the outline piece of the different poppies, the leaves and the petals and the buds and stuff. And that's what I use today. Then to make the card, so now all these pieces are kind of ready to go, I'm going to push them out of the way and I'm going to show you how I did the background. So a lot of people are really good at doing watercolor washes. That would not be me. So I can do them, but they just don't come out the same as what I'd like for them to. So I like using stencil brushes. And so today I'm using Granny Apple Green and a stencil brush. These are Clarity Stamp stencil brushes. They're not a Stampin' Up! Product. You can get their Clarity brushes, so you can get them. I've seen them on Amazon. They come in a set of 4, and they cost $25 for the set. And what's nice about them is I have, like I said, I have 4 of them, and this one is my green one. So I have a green one, a blue one, a red one, and a yellow one. And I use them repeatedly, and I don't wash them or do anything to get the ink off or anything. If I need to change colors, I just kind of go like this on a piece of paper before I pick up new color. But this one is my designated green one. And so I'm just going to pick up some color here. And this is just a scrap. I'm just gonna make sure that the bulk of it is off. And then I'm just going to kind of brush this on so that it creates kind of a very soft background with the green. Not going all the way to the edges. I just kind of keep going over it until it's really smooth. That's what I like about these. You can do this with daubers, but I feel like I end up with kind of streaky marks and stuff with a dauber that I don't get with a Clarity brush. Okay, so that's my background. Easy to do if you have the brushes. And now I'm going to lay out how I want my flowers to be. And I'm not going to adhere them down yet. I want to first kind of decide how I want them to be. And I'll tell you in a minute why I want that. I'm going to kind of tuck this one underneath here like this. And then this one kind of like that and like that. This is just a rough estimate of how they're going to go on here. And so I'm going to slide this up just a little bit so that I can pick up some of that green down here. And I might just add a little bit more in that little corner there. Okay. I like to use the stamp set Label Me Bold because of this stamp right here. This is a splotchy stamp. I don't know what else you call it. Kind of a splotchy, grungy kind of thing, but it's very, very delicate. The spots are really soft. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to ink this up and stamp off once, and then I'm going to place that here so that it becomes kind of like a shadow for my card, for my flower that goes like that. See how perfectly that fits in there? It's like it was made for it. I don't think it was, but you know. And then this one is going to go about like that, so I'm going to stamp off and put that about like that. It just gives it a nice little shadow. See how that kind of makes it pop up just a little bit? Okay, now before we assemble, which is honestly the easiest part, I'm going to show you how I made the sentiment. And the sentiment came from two different stamp sets. The Peaceful Moments, which is part of this suite, is the congratulations. That's right here. And then the Delightful Day has the On Your New Home. And the reason I'm making these two cards is because my neighbor, who has lived next door to me for the last, well, ever since I've lived here, which is 22 years. She's lived here for 42 years. She and her husband are moving about 30 miles away to be closer to their grandkids. So they've moved and got a new home. And that means we have new neighbors that are going to be moving in here in about a month or so. And they have a new home. So I'm making two of these cards to give to them to congratulate them on their new homes. So Delightful Day on your new home. And I'm going to take my congratulations stamp and some Memento black, tuxedo black ink. And I'm going to stamp this about in the middle of this piece of paper. This is just a scrap piece of paper. I just know that it's big enough for my label that came from the Painted Labels dies. So this is the other die set that goes with the Poppies suite. So I'm going to use this one. It's a smaller one. And then I'm going to take my On Your New Home, which is in photopolymer. So I can just line that right up underneath. You can see it. Just like that. And then I'm gonna slip over here to my Big Shot and cut that out. See how perfectly that fits in there, just like that. And there we go. So that's going to go roughly up there. Now I'm ready to assemble my card. And most of this I did with just some snail, except for this bigger poppy that I put on with dimensionals. I'm gonna add just a little bit of glue there because it keeps wanting to lift a little bit. Let's do that. Liquid glue and I have a love-hate relationship. Oops, that's not what I want. I want this. I can use this kind of liquid glue without any issue, but if I try to use the multi-purpose glue, the white stuff in the green and white bottle, I make a mess every time. It's all over my hands, it's all over my project, it shows everywhere, and it just drives me crazy. So I have adapted to not having to use that. So I just don't. Okay, I want to set that right in there like that so it kind of shadows in that little V. You can kind of see how that's kind of fitting right in there like that. Okay, and then I'm going to use, I can use liquid glue on this. You can use snail also, whichever you prefer. I'm going to tuck that right underneath, just like that. Add a little snail here. It's going to go like that. And this one, actually I'm going to do this with a glue dot. I think it might be a little easier. Tuck that in just like that. And then the last one is the leaf. Big enough for snail. And this one I seem to have put it up a little higher. So I'm going to have to figure out where I want to put my sentiment. I think I'm going to have to put it there. Just put it up a little higher than I did on my original. Okay, and then lastly, I'm just going to put this on a card base. The card base is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and this piece of Whisper White thick is 4 by 5 1/4. So just standard card size layers. Nothing in particular. All the rest of it is just scrap paper that I use to do my cutouts. That, and then I just added a couple of pearls down here at the bottom, just to kind of dress it up a little bit more. One there. I put another one over here. Okay, so a little bit different. Like I said, I put this up a little bit higher than I should have. I should have kind of moved that down a little bit, but it still works, and the recipient will still love it. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining me, and I hope that you will try to make this if you have the Painted Poppies suite, and if you do, let me know. Thank you. Bye.